little differently because on this one, you have to have the advice of counsel or work that into that. What was it on?
All right, Mr. Wagner?
I didn't even pay attention. I will. And I even looked at this one because it's all whited out.
Jane, does he want us here again?
She wonder where he's at. He called me.
Who?
And Larry.
He's always ready.
Yeah, he loses his damn mind.
Last week.
So you come out state tournament? Oh no, I was pretty busy that week too, and I didn't want it to happen. I was, How are you, sir?
I'm fine. You doing okay?
Man, I'm good. I'm good. Everything okay with you?
I guess. I guess.
Ooh, you would kill somebody.
Get it?
I'm gonna holler at you sometime.
Yeah, get with me. Yeah, see if you coming up. That's doing all right.
We're good.
Hey, how are you, sir? Good. How are you? Doing well.
They had 3 doctors in there.
Every now and then. I'm telling you, they suck. I guess what?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm gonna kick you in the butt.
Huh? I probably need kicked in the butt a little bit. Oh no! What did you do? What did you do?
Hey, that bunion finally take it off.
Okay. What's
Don't
good?
ever do that.
You said don't ever do that? Well, that's gonna make you like look better, right?
Yeah,
Later.
but it don't have that big old knot on the side of my
Yeah.
big toe. You
Yeah.
know? It hurts.
Come on now.
I wouldn't know what they look like.
The city administrator. Yeah. It's some lingo in the. Right. Gotcha.
Oh, I am. It's so good. I need you for my PR. She's good. Yes, she's good.
How are you?
I like that outfit too. It's probably a freaking small. Probably a small or extra small. My arm won't get in it. She's always had pretty hair. Jamie Lou Stacy.
Okay.
No, I did not know. That makes great.
Final call. Anybody like to sign up for an unscheduled public hearing?
To read over all your receipts.
Because I need
Yeah.
Did you? Look over mine. I don't even look over mine.
Oh, no, I don't want to do that.
It's piddly. It's piddle money. It ain't no money.
Oh my gosh. My favorite.
Yeah, he called me and said he's on his way.
Oh, give him a few minutes. I did.
Ain't no sense in talking
Okay.
to him.
He never answers when I call him. Sometimes he calls me
I
back.
got. Can we talk after this? I gotta start. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Jimmy, you doing all right? Did that meeting go good with Darla and everything? She acted like she thinks we can find y'all some more funds. Good. Yeah.
I don't know.
tried calling
How
him.
you doing? Good to see you as well.
I know it.
How you doing? Doing good, and you?
Hey, Ken.
That was just a mistake on my part.
You want to try calling him once more?
I tried to call it.
Yeah.
Oh, he is? Answer the phone.
There he is.
Oh, these are those deals, aren't
I wasn't at home. Didn't have my phone on. I had to teach me. I need it.
I'm just trying to be.
Oh, I am late, Dana.
they? Did you already give him some? Okay, okay.
Walk right past
Would you pass those?
Oh, everybody.
If you all don't mind, I think we'll start with the economic development.
We're gonna start with that. Oh, I thought you were gonna start.
I think a lot of these.
How you been, man?
I don't care where you start.
Okay.
I'm just reminding you that, never mind.
I don't think, after talking to you, I think it'll be okay, don't you?
Oh, yeah, that's fine. You start with economic development, just so we have things.
Okay. Everybody ready? I'll give Larry a minute.
I'm ready.
You sure?
Ready as I'm gonna get.
I'd like to call the City of Wagoner Economic Development Meeting, February 3rd at 6:02. Brother Von Wald, if you would, please.
Let's bow our heads and our hearts in a word of prayer and invite you to please rise. Gracious Heavenly Father, we love you so much. Thank you, Lord, for this beautiful day in February. God, you're so good. Thank you. I ask, God, that you would help us now in this meeting tonight. I pray, Lord, that you would grant wisdom. I pray, Lord, that you would help everybody, Lord, to be able to get along, Lord, with a Christian attitude and a Christian character. And that, God, that you could be glorified, Lord, through our conduct as well, Lord, as through our attitudes. Lord, just be with us tonight, and may your mercies, Lord, be upon us. We ask in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Kelly?
Sorry, I have to get to the
You're
right
fine.
place.
You're fine.
I was on the wrong page. My apologies. Item number 1, consider approval of minutes, January 6th, 2025.
Discussion? Entertain a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Higginbottom.
Yes.
Abernathy.
Yes.
Wagoner.
Yes.
North.
Yes.
Sampson.
Yes.
Butler.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Item number 2, consider approval or denial of claims for January 2025 to include numbers 3 and 4.
Discussion? Entertain a motion?
So many. Second.
Have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Sampson.
Yes.
Butler.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Higginbottom.
Yes.
Abernathy.
Yes.
North.
Yes.
Wagoner.
Yes.
Item number 3, consider approval of resolution number 25-01, a resolution authorizing the chairperson or in his or her absence, the vice chairperson, to purchase without prior board approval supplies, materials, equipment, or contractual services whose costs do not exceed $3,000 in a single transaction, or take other action.
So, council, what this is if we needed another appraisal, or, for instance, we need to rekey the Harris building. We had some issues where the door was open, and we tracked down some of the keys. We're not sure we tracked down all of them, so we feel like it'd be better just to have it rekeyed. So, just things of that nature, that instead of having to call a special meeting for something like that. Any questions? Entertain a motion?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Butler,
Yes.
Abernathy,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes,
Higginbottom,
Yes.
North,
Yes.
Wagoner,
Yes.
Sampson.
Yes.
Item number 4, consider an agreement between the City of Wagoner Economic Development Authority, the City of Wagoner, and the Wagoner County Economic Development Authority for the development of a project known as the Junction, which shall be a public event space constructed at 111 South Main Street within the City of Wagoner.
no action.
What's the reason on that?
Because we don't have clarification on it. It hasn't been up to date brought to us. That's the reason why.
What, hold on.
Like, I mean, we haven't had up-to-date information since the WIDA was in effect.
WIDA is in effect.
I mean, no, when WIDA actually was.
Is doing the contract between the city WIDA and Wagner County WIDA for the funds to proceed with the junction.
I just think that, my motion is to take no action. At this time.
I have a motion for no action on the contract for the junction. Gailey, you do realize that we're talking about the city potentially missing out on $600,000.
Well, I think we need to get more clarification on who's doing what and who's not doing what. I don't want to wait till the last minute. You know, I heard the economic meeting today, and I heard other people had said on there at the same time. So until we get all our ducks in order, I just think it should be no action on it.
What do you mean by the ducks in order? I feel like everything is in order. Very hard on this contract.
You know, like, okay, we got things going on, like, okay, if way I'm not giving it, or it was heard today, the same thing I heard today, and, okay, we get in this ordeal, and we get all this money, and people don't put all their money in it or something, or somebody don't.
That's why we sign a contract. We sign a contract, it's a done deal.
So is the county gonna pull the money out?
We don't know yet. The county just haven't.
No, the county has made decisions they're not going to pull out.
Well, the meeting I heard today, they said that they don't know yet.
I was at that meeting, and
I heard you.
they tried to actually vote, but they are not the Wagner County Economic Development Authority, and they actually tried to vote to move forward with the junction today at the county commissioner meeting. The county is fully on moving forward with the junction. This could rejuvenize our downtown. I have a motion to take no action. Does anybody want to make a second? I'd entertain a motion to proceed.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to proceed.
Enter into the contract.
To enter into the contract, correct, Larry? Any discussion on that? Please call the roll.
Higginbottom,
Yes.
Abernathy,
Yes.
Wagoner, Wright,
No.
Sampson,
Yes.
Yes.
North,
Yes.
Item 5, consider accepting a proposal by Planning Design to provide landscape architectural service for the development of a project known as Public constructed at 111 South Main Street within the city of Wagoner, or take other action.
Jeff. So this is Jeff. He's with PDG, the contractor that we awarded this to. So actually, we're putting in 300,000. John Chandler's putting in 3. County's putting in. We will sign our parts of the contract tonight. The county will still have to sign theirs, but this is just getting the ball rolling. And so he has provided us with a contract with PDG that will allow us to see these phases. And we are only guaranteeing at this point in time up to the design phase and the cost estimates. So they will do the geo, we'll bring in the structural engineer to check out the wall. And then if this park is $2.5 million to do, whoa, we're gonna have to back up, look at a different route. This is only putting in roughly $28,000 of our $300,000 at this point in time. Any questions for Jeff?
So right now, we don't know.
Comfortable.
There is a design budget that was put together, not by our firm, but by somebody else. That was a year plus ago. Obviously, construction dollars changed. So what this is, we'll do surveying of the site, which has not been done ever. We'll do geotech reports of the site, which have not been done, to know what's underground. We'll do a structural evaluation of the building to the south, and the wall there on how to remedy that situation. And then we will do a revised conceptual plan based on all that information and the desired elements within the park, and a preliminary cost estimate at that time. Once that's completed, we will not be authorized to move forward with the next our contract until you guys give us a notice.
And that right there is what's $28,000.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it might not be to that exact dollar, but
Right,
yeah,
it's pretty close.
yes.
Somewhere in that dollar amount. It includes the geotech, the surveying, conceptual design, and cost estimating.
Chris?
So what we've seen so far, the design by another company, but that's,
So that was a huge mess that happened before, that we were all under the influence with the previous WIDA board. They thought that engineer was going to do all of that for $15,000. He just gave them a design. That was it.
so gave us the design, but no, like, the estimated
no
cost,
actual
but
check.
no.
Yeah.
They could do that.
Yeah.
So basically gave us a picture for $15,000.
Yes.
basically.
Is there anything from what the previous one did that we can take and use?
Well, that's,
He has all that.
Yeah, so we
And
have some of the conceptual images and everything, and we'll obtain more once we get under contract and utilize that information to move forward with, because we'll use a lot of the same elements that were within that. We might revise some space based on needs now versus what was originally discussed as being part of that project, as just small elements of that, not the overall scheme. Work with the streetscape, because there is a streetscape that's gonna happen there too.
Right.
So we will coordinate with that design, as tying that into all of that.
and he's very familiar with that designer that's doing streetscapes, so. Further discussion, entertain a motion.
Second.
Motion and a second, please call the roll.
Wagoner,
Yes.
Abernathy,
Yes.
Sampson,
yes.
Moore,
Yes.
North,
Yes.
Higginbottom, Wright,
Yes.
Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
So the short summary version of that is, within 2 months, I outgrew my kitchen table. This is the 3D rendering from the architect. I did not know the Junction was 111 South Main Street, so I'm sitting over there. Well, my address is 111 South State Street, so maybe I'm a numbers gal. But this is going to be a state-of-the-art facility. You can go to the next picture. This will be featured right in front of the Carnegie Library. We are breaking ground end of March to 1st of April. This building is my entire heart in a set of construction plans. I believe that the only reason that God has ever blessed me is to be a blessing to other people. And I think that at the end of the day, that is what life is really about. I am paying it forward. I am creating a state-of-the-art workspace that others who have a business or established business, I know that United Fidelity Funding Corporation just signed on today. They're bringing a Wagoner branch from Tulsa. They're going to open a Wagoner branch when we are open. So that just happened today. And what I want to say is that in this design plan, I have invested in my total investment, the construction cost is a little over $812,000, plus I'm putting someone on staff. So it will have a receptionist. If you can go to the interior. I want to see the actual floor plan if you can, please. And so what this is going to do is it's going to have a receptionist. So right when you walk inside, and actually go to the, yeah, that's fine. Yes, and I don't know how to, I'm a hands pointer person, but right when you walk in, you're going to be greeted by a receptionist. That receptionist is pretty much going to run that whole building. You'll see the larger rectangular on the top left is actually a co-working space. And what that is for $150 a month, just on a month-to-month, you can have a desk, a whole Wi-Fi, and the availability to also have a conference room. So the conference room is on, it's going to be able to seat comfortably 8 people. It'll have a screen in there. And what it is that, you know, this is going to give people an opportunity at a very affordable rate to have a commercial address, and also to be able to have a receptionist that greets and meets you. Each of the office spaces are scalable, so we have an executive suite, which is right next to the co-working. It's right next to that large rectangular place. And then you'll have a medium office space, and then the smaller office spaces. So each of those start at different rates. The small office starts at $650 a month, and it is, again, fully furnished. And Kristen, if you can just provide pictures of the furniture. So this is some of the conceptual designs from my architect and the color schemes that we will be using. And if you can go to one more furniture screen so to give them an idea of the desks. Okay, that right there. So you'll see off to the right the look of the desks. The entire workstations are going to have, and all of the furniture has a lifetime warranty. So again, I've made the numbers work. When I started this plan, we started at a $1.6 million construction. And me being a numbers person, there is no earthly way I could turn around and lease space for something of that caliber of a payment in the downtown district. So what I'm here today to ask for is that I am investing $813,000 of my dollars, then another $40,000 for the paid position for payroll for a receptionist. And I know that Wagoner County Economic Development gave a grant, so I am going to be able to have all of my workstations covered in a grant, which is a wonderful blessing. But I'm specifically coming to ask the City Council and the Economic Development here to see if it's possible if I could have a $70,000 grant to go towards my infrastructure cost and the actual construction. And the way I look at this, and you should have in your packet an economic impact analysis, and I really want you to take a look at this. I have a very dear friend from the City of Broken Arrow Economic Development Corporation who helped me put together an economic impact analysis. So you can see I ran 2 different specs for you. If the facility is leased at 50% capacity, what do those numbers look like on a long-term scan? And then what is the actual return on the investment for local sales tax dollars? And also, what are the job creations? And sometimes there's a lot of questions on, well, I'm not personally hiring on payroll 22 people, so how is that payroll? Well, I can tell you as a tax accountant, self-employed people are their own payroll. Their net income is subject to self-employment tax. That's your FICA tax. So it is spenders. It's driving economic opportunity downtown. You're going to have people shopping, needing to go to Miranda's for lunch. I love their little coffees. Going to the Red Rooster, shopping. And more than anything, the way I developed this, and here's what I've learned since opening my office in Rose District in 2012. When I opened that, to me, it was not about driving business, to use our services from around the area. It's about bringing people from outside of our vicinity to us. When I opened my second location here in Wagoner, I have graciously been blessed with people coming all the way from Muskogee, from Porter, to come into Wagoner and be able to come and use our services. So this economic driver downtown is going to be a driver for people coming to the downtown district. It is, and you'll see the renderings of that, it's going to have a copier. We will have a whole fully stocked office supply. In fact, we sent off today to my vendor to make sure that we got the quote back. So all of our office supplies, they can come to the front receptionist if they need paper, pens, notepads, and we provide all of those at cost, and are using the buying power that we have with our office supply vendor to match and beat prices that you could find on Amazon. So again, I do want to add also that the sales tax revenue from just the construction alone, we are ensuring that, and it's part of the contract with my builder, all of the sales tax revenue has to be, City of Wagoner. So there's not going to be a purchase made in Tulsa and then brought in here. It will generate sales tax just on the construction side alone. Going to open this up for questions.
Any discussion?
What's the start time from start to finish?
That's a good question. Thank you. The builder says 180 days from groundbreaking. And then I've had a couple questions, why Wagoner, have you ever always thought of this? Because I'm not originally from here. And I have to say, there are I love it out here. It is peaceful. It is a beautiful drive. I have just fallen in love with the town. I've had a vision of this building for 4 years. And many nights, if the police department saw me parked, like a creepy car parked in that little empty parking lot at 10:30 at night during tax season, it was me sitting there and just praying and asking God, when and will you let me? And I finally felt that green light, and I appreciate so much this junction. As I've been so buried developing this, I had no idea and haven't even been able to keep up with the junction, but I know that vision started some time ago, and I'm grateful for those that are continuing to carry it forward and the work you all have put in for that.
Any other questions?
Do we have any questions submitted from the audience? Is there anything on the live feed? Okay.
Okay. Move along. Thank you, Rebecca.
Thank you.
Item number 7, consider entering into an economic development agreement between the City of Wagoner Economic Development Authority and Tower Business Complex, LLC, providing Tower Business Complex, LLC with development incentives for the construction of a business complex on East Cherokee Street in the City of Wagoner, Oklahoma, or take other action.
So I pulled the budget from Laura just last week, looking over some things, and we have $100,000 in the account for business procurement. I would feel safe if this board would agree upon what I'm asking to give Rebecca Olson and Tower Business Complex a $15,000 grant, and if the property is sold within 3 years, that we will have a reimbursement plus 4%. Discussion? Entertain a motion?
15.
I'll make a motion to approve the 15,000 with a contractual agreement that if it's sold within 3 years or whatnot, then that would be reimbursed back to the city.
Second.
Have a motion and a second.
Who was, oh,
Huh?
with Larry was second.
Larry was
Sorry. Higginbottom,
Yes.
North, Butler,
Yes.
Abernathy,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes,
Wagoner,
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
It was 15, is that correct?
Yes.
15,000.
and what was the reimbursement percentage?
4%
Okay.
plus total 15,000 plus 4%. That's on that. I
Yeah.
gave you a copy of that contract. It's in there.
Okay.
It's at the very bottom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Look, right above where
Oh,
we
the
signed.
one he signed, okay,
Yep,
gotcha.
yep.
Oh,
Item number 8 is adjournment.
Make a motion with adjourn.
Second?
Have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Butler,
Yes.
Wagoner,
Yes.
Higginbottom,
Yes.
North,
Yes.
Abernathy,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Meeting adjourned at 6:29. Like to call the City of Wagoner regular business meeting February 3rd at 6:30.
Item number 3 is consider approval of minutes, January 6, 2025.
Discussion? Entertain a motion?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Higginbottom,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
Sampson,
Yes.
North,
Yes.
Wagoner,
Yes.
Abernathy.
Yes.
Item number 4, consider approval or denial of claims for January 2025 to include numbers 125 through 144, manual warrants, ambulance to include numbers 85 through 97, manual warrants, and economic development fund numbers 15 and 16.
Discussion?
Can I ask a question? What's an earth planter?
That's the flower pots
Oh, okay.
that hang off the light poles.
Oh, okay.
We were short some.
Okay.
So we actually ordered one extra. So we ordered 5, didn't we, Kenneth? Yep.
And they're
Yep.
gonna be self-watered?
Exact
Got the
same
same thing.
ones.
Okay,
Yep.
good.
Yep, we've already received them,
Okay.
right? Yes, sir. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Entertain a motion?
So made.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Wagoner,
Yes.
Sampson,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
Abernathy,
Yes.
North,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Higginbottom.
Yes.
Item number 5 is the mayor's report.
We're gonna do employee of the month. I'm gonna do one for November because he wasn't here last month. Heath. Where'd he go? Heath Knowles. He works for our, the sewer plant, so.
So you got all dolled up there for that picture.
Congratulations.
Next step is Jason Holcomb. He works for the wastewater plant as well. So, Jason, come on in here, brother. I didn't have anything to do with this, but I find it very suiting, especially after the fire last month. The January 2025 employee of the month was Wagoner Fire Department.
Thank you, guys.
This has been an extremely busy month. We have lots of projects in the works. We met today on some deals. Need a tissue?
Yeah, please, thank you.
With the buildings, the pavilions that we're moving forward at Lincoln and Dunbar. I spoke with me and Ken Hicks. We actually went and saw Brian Nolan. He's here tonight, our attorney over the Rural Water 6 incident, and we spoke about the Dunbar monument that we're gonna. It's made. It's ready to go. Figure just as soon as we get that pavilion made, we'll have that installed there by the pavilion. I want to give a massive thanks and shout out to our street department. You know, we got, it snowed 3 times last month, and well, that one, I hadn't seen it snow like that in a long time. And they came in at 4 o'clock in the morning on a Friday and worked extremely hard and did an amazing job for the citizens of Wagoner clearing roads. I believe they even stayed over that day. So I'm very proud, and I can't thank those guys enough. We had an unexpected water outage just a couple weeks ago that affected some businesses right around City Hall. Nobody should have been on that line. Somewhere in the past, they've been attached to this line, and it was cut to work on the stormwater project, and these businesses lost water. Our water departments worked very hard to get those folks back on with water, and I'm very proud of everything they did to get that. Let's see. We started interviewing last week for the economic development position. We have had some really outstanding, great candidates for that. We did 4 interviews. It's moving right along. We're very excited about that. If you haven't noticed, it's long overdue, and I know a lot of people are probably happy about it because they're not going to have to worry about me hound dogging them anymore, but we started having trees planted in downtown Wagoner today, so very excited about that. I had a phone call just a couple weeks ago with Chris Wallace. He's over ODOT in our area. He's their chief engineer. We had a very long conversation about several things, from Jake brake signs on 69 to, I believe we're going to be able to have our state champion signs put back up. He's working in some things along the lines for that for me. We're also going to have an open house meeting very soon that has to do with the TAP grant. We met here, a few months back on the TAP grant. We had the federal government here, ODOT, some engineers, and architect designers. Jeff, were you here on that one too? No, I'm sorry. That was someone else. But what we're going to do is, they had talked about having an overpass or an underpass, and also a bicycle trail. Looking at it and talking with the federal government, I felt like this gentleman was 100% on the same page as us. We need sidewalks. We need sidewalks going down 51, connecting 51 and 69 to downtown Wagoner. people that are gonna walk are gonna use the side roads, but when you get to those main roads, they need sidewalks and safe sidewalks for that. This would, hopefully, this design that they're still working on at the open house where they will like citizen input, you're gonna see that they would be putting in sidewalks running down 69 Highway to about Charlie's Chicken on the west side, or excuse me, the east side, and then in front of McDonald's and Quick Trip on the west side. We'll have crosswalks at 6951, and then also the biggest thing, and you could talk to anybody that's on Wagoner Fire Department, you could probably talk to our EMS, you could talk to our police officers. Something that we've needed my entire life, and probably even before then, is a light in front of McDonald's there on 69 Highway. If we have folks show up for this, there's our opportunity to get the light in front of McDonald's and Brahms right there with a crosswalk to go across right there. You know, an underpass and an overpass, to me, just isn't feasible. I feel like an underpass could be a scary situation for many reasons. You don't know who's going to be under there. Also, there's a massive creek right there that we would actually have to have a pump station installed. We're talking with Chris Wallace, you know, Muskogee has an overpass, and they've had to put up chain link fence and all kinds of things to try to get people to go up and over those overpasses. But people are going to take the least path of resistance. You know, they're going to still cut across right there and go to McDonald's and Brahms. So I'm hoping that we can really get this stoplight. I feel like besides the S-curves, that's the biggest location where we have Rex and Wagoner. So that will be coming up. He had given us a few days, and I'll take the blame on this because those few days are right around the time that my son is due. So we're looking at hopefully mid-March for that open house. Some of you may not know, but we picked up our new fire truck last month. God bless Jimmy Cagle, because we sent him to Nebraska with James McMahon. And if you know James McMahon, that's a task. The bathroom for Lincoln Park, that gentleman came today. Is that going to start next week, Kenneth?
It's gonna start Wednesday. They're gonna start pouring the pad, and then in about 2 weeks, they're gonna bring the building in, and they're gonna set it on the pad. The building weighs 60,000 pounds, so and it's pretty high. So I've had a lot of cooperation from the electric, the street, we're getting permits. Gordon, Kristen's been involved in it. Today we've been with that guy from Texas all day.
That's I'm really hoping and shooting that we'll have this bathroom and pavilion up and open at Lincoln Park in time for the 4th of July, because I know it'll be utilized very much. We're also in the works, we found a gentleman in town that fabricates some signs, and we're in the work. He's almost finished with the Lincoln Park sign, and then it's a big old nice metal sign. It's in the works of being powder coated right now, and then I'm going to get with Alfred McNack to see if he could do some brick work around it so we could put in a flower bed. Another thing that I've started working on, and we're fixing to look to pick out designs, is we're going to order two, we already have the funds for it, 2 benches and a picnic table to go to Lincoln Park in remembrance of Brenda. So it'll say in remembrance of Brenda Leonard on those. And I think that'll be awesome. I think she will definitely love that very much. So another thing that I was pretty proud of. I don't know if you've noticed, but there's been some updates to the council room just in the last week. You'll notice, well, right behind Gala, there's been a big scuff on the wall for quite some time, and that paneling back there was halfway rotted, and so we got quotes and got that ripped out and replaced, and then the park department finished painting it up yesterday. So I'd really like to thank the park department for stepping up and helping us out. Sorry, I said yesterday. It's Friday that they knocked out the painting. This Saturday, we have the Junior Livestock Show, so please come out and support those folks. It's the biggest fundraiser of the year for the fire department. Friday, we'll be hooked up smoking meat for the livestock show. I'd like to thank Shane North for donating us some pecan wood for us to do this fundraiser. That's about all I have. Thank you.
I have one thing to say real quick.
Yeah.
I want to say, excuse me, the picnic that you get, I mean, a little park gathering, I mean, not park gathering, but the employees' ex-Christmas party on Brenda's behalf, and I know my behalf, we both was upset about it, and she was upset till the day that the employees didn't get to have a Christmas party. And I would like to thank you for letting the employees have a Christmas party
Well, it was.
and recognize it was
And-
well overdue.
And you know, I brought it up in that, and there was kind of some miscommunication. A lot of people were worried we would have to post agenda, all kinds of things, so I'll take the heat on that. I did not invite counselors. I'm sorry about that, but we did have a lunch the other week for the city employees. Jimmy smoked the meat. We told them, you know, that Brenda really wanted this and was very upset that we didn't have a Christmas lunch, and they were very appreciative. The food was very good, and our employees left full and happy. So
Yep, I could have got a plate, I mean, brought to me, good God. I love cobbler.
hey, that cobbler
I
went
wasn't
fast.
invited, I just didn't go. Somebody else invited me, I could have creeped on in there and creeped on out.
Go ahead, Rhonda.
Item number 6, consider purchasing employee health insurance or take other action.
All right, good evening, council. It's that lovely time of year again. I do have Amber and Gary here with Relation, and they are going to present our options this year. Amber, if you want to go ahead and start passing those out. We're pretty excited about all the things we have to show you tonight. I will say, as a heads up, we were expecting an increase this year. If you'll remember last year, we talked about it, that we'd more than likely see an increase. But it was not near as bad as we expected. So with that being said, I'm going to let Amber take the reins.
Thank you. All right, is this okay to set? All right. I know Lori thinks this comes quickly, but I feel like it comes faster every year.
Is that on, or the volume?
Am I?
Oh, there you
Oh.
go, that's perfect.
Maybe a little too close. Okay. I've never been accused of being had to speak up, so I've never been to need a microphone very often. I have two children at home that are 6 and 7, and good thing I have a voice, right? I know that, you know, insurance takes a lot of time. There's a lot of details in these packets. In the past, I feel like we've gone over kind of some line items that maybe didn't need to be discussed every year. So what I've done this year is we have a packet in front of us with our recommendations, and then we have some supporting documents on the left-hand side that are pretty irrelevant. When I say irrelevant, they're high claimants. We don't want to discuss those in a public meeting, but we want you guys to see the visuals of kind of why we see increases to our insurance. We are a group that's, in Oklahoma, we're considered large group. That means we have 50 employees or more. So we have a portion of our rates that come from experience, meaning what claims are paid out. You'll notice that there are some high claimants on there. Lori and I stay pretty, we talk very often to make sure that we have a good representation as we go out to markets and things like that. We talked to you guys last year about a no-shop offer with community care. Our no-shop offer included, we negotiated, a rate cap of 7% this year. I will tell you that that was a very good option to take last year. We made a good decision because whenever we looked at the market this year, community care on paper should have given us over a 10% increase. And you'll see that we had many declines from different markets, as well as one carrier gave us a quote, and it was over 20% higher than what we were paying today. So our pre-negotiation worked out well. You're going to see that we've negotiated that a little bit further, but you'll kind of see how that rolls. On page 2 of this orange sheet, this is where I'm going to kind of spend most of my time on this packet. Page 2 is going to give us an overview of each product line. Our medical insurance, as I mentioned, pre-negotiated at a 7%. We were able to get that down to a 5% even without competitive data. It will take a network change, and to be completely transparent, this network is actually an enhanced network from what you guys have today. So I'll discuss that further as we get to that portion. Our secondary insurance. That is, we talked about primary card last year and a secondary that would come in and help pay those deductibles for employees. It had a 15% increase. We were able to find another carrier that would take you at a 5% increase for the exact same benefit. It would just be a new ID card. I will tell you through HR, through calls to our office, because we give every employee our phone number, we've had a lot of feedback on the enhancements that were made last year. The secondary, I had people in tears calling saying, this has been wonderful. I'd been putting off getting, tested for sleep apnea, many different scenarios, and people were very grateful to not have a deductible. So it was a huge win. I'll say the second piece, which actually leads us into the telemedicine renewal. We added Revive Health. We replaced Teladoc, and it had some prescription drug coverage for not only our employees but family members. It was the exact same story. Those two enhancements, countless employees were reaching out to us, really appreciating it. Every once in a while, we'd have a question on, hey, what pharmacy can I use? But overall, the employees are very appreciative of those enhancements from last year.
I actually got permission from one of our employees to share with you one of their experiences. They received a bill in the mail for $5,241, and that was before the gap insurance stepped in. And I said, whoa, don't pay it. So we contacted the department, the billing department. We entered her prosperity information for the gap, and now she's looking at a max of $500. So that impacted that employee very much, and she wanted me to share her thanks to you guys as well for providing that.
And that's not the only story that I've heard on this year. There have been several others that it has really bailed them out. And I'm very proud that we offer that.
Is that white card?
It is.
Everybody I give it to, they don't know anything about it. They got a call.
Yeah, so you have to have the provider reach out. It's a little different because there's not a network. They're used to saying, oh, we contract. Well, this doesn't have a contract. It's just a kind of a bucket of money, and there's a fee there, right, that they'll pay up to the maximum. So if you ever have trouble, the new carrier that we're going to propose has more technology capabilities.
Oh, okay.
So you could actually pay that on your credit card, submit the receipt, you're on your own with the new carrier, and be reimbursed within 7 to 11 days.
Okay.
So,
Does that
kind of,
cover the prescription meds too?
it does not. So the secondary does not have prescription medications, or it doesn't cover like professional fees for providers, with the
Now,
exception of
do you
urgent
know
care.
on the Teladoc, Kevin, that if you go through that, those prescriptions are free?
Yeah. yes.
The urgent
For
care
certain-
RX, yeah,
It's
certain meds.
It's only what, they have a list of what they cover, but that's for you, your spouse, and your children.
Right.
And they'll pay up to, it's $200 is it $250 $250 allowance per year, per person though. So you would have that, your spouse would have that. And there's over 200 medications on that list. So they call it urgent care RX. That's the way I try to remember it. If it's going to be, you know, a Z-Pack, if it's going to be an antibiotic, sometimes an inhaler, things that if you went to urgent care and they would prescribe it, but it's not going to be your everyday blood pressure medication or maintenance meds. So a lot of good stuff coming from both of those programs that I don't want to forget. Our current loss ratio was at 85% whenever the renewal was pulled. I will tell you that whenever they pull these renewals, they pull them, you know, a few months before. We had claims through the end of October. And all of the carriers we went to said, hey, we can't go through October. We need to see November data. November data, we had over a 300% loss ratio, and we have some ongoing new claimants that are coming in. We've been monitoring. I think we have been kind of seeing if we may lose a few of those and they may no longer be on our insurance. So I think we'll have a good story to tell next year, even though we may not have a good market this year. We're going to pray and cross our fingers that no one else gets sick and we maintain where we are. But that's kind of our current is 85% current. The previous 12 months was around 89%. The next question is usually, okay, well, what should it be? And most insurance companies want to see that number around 80%. It can hover a little bit, you know, but 80% keeps them in the green. If you have an 80% year, you're looking at just a trend increase, not necessarily a claims increase. Our prescription drugs, last year we talked a little bit about prescription drugs. We put in Revive because we were getting killed on prescription drugs. And we actually went down 1% in our spend on prescription drugs this last year. Whether it's Revive or not, we don't get reporting, so I can't guarantee that. But 1% could definitely be due to us not using our community care every single time we hit the pharmacy, being able to split some of those claims with the Revive Health. Our Revive Health has no additional increase. I did not market the Revive. It didn't have an increase, and we had so much good feedback. If I were to market that, I wouldn't be able to find anything similar to that. There's nothing else that includes prescriptions and telemed all in one package, so you're going to see that as a consistent piece this year. Our dental renewal is with Delta Dental. We're going to see an increase of 6%. Our current plan design. We do have an optional plan design through Delta Dental. I'll talk through that a little bit more, and you'll see that the market really supports that Delta is the right position for you guys. Vision, life insurance, and short-term disability are also going to be pieces that I'm going to present to you guys tonight. Our vision is a rate hold. We're in a rate guarantee. Our life insurance did have an increase, and that was due to our aging population. No one can change that. We all get older every single year. And short-term disability is something that we're presenting as we see many cities offering that now. Carriers quoted are on page 3. You'll see we've gone to every major medical carrier in the state of Oklahoma. Some key data points. I know that we've talked in the past, and you guys are like, hey, are we in line? Where are we standing? These are going to be some average deductibles and monthly premiums. I think those are the two things that stand out the most to me. You guys, with your secondary, you have a $0 deductible whenever it's said and done. And nationally, it's a $1,700 deductible is what the national standard is. So calling it rich benefits or calling the benefit package, you know, enhanced and very nice with the city is nothing short of what's being offered here. The other thing I wanted to point out is you'll notice that $702 is the average premium across the nation from these reports. If you look at page 5, you'll see that whenever we combine our rates, you know, we're sitting under, you know, right now we're at a $459 combined rate. And even with our renewal, if we take no action and keep everything the way it was, we're just now hitting the $500 mark for each employee. With the current and renewal, I told you guys that this is going to be the exact same plan. This is if you don't make a change. Oh, sorry. If you don't make a change to the medical benefit or the secondary, the increase overall blended would be 8.8%. And some of you are going, okay, well, you said 7% with community care. The secondary took a 15% increase. When you blend the two together, we're going to hit just under 9%. I don't think we should spend much time on this page. I think we should move on because we have better news to follow. Page 6 is going to be our medical results. Aetna formally declined to release a quote. Blue Cross Blue Shield did release a quote. If we look at a current plan design match with Blue Cross Blue Shield and our secondary, we would be at around a 24% increase to move to Blue Cross Blue Shield. We do not have any concerns with network where we're at. There's no reason to move over to Blue Cross Blue Shield at this time with a rate increase. Cigna is a network that we actually tried to capture through Allstate. Initially, our talks with underwriting looked very positive. We thought we would get a quote from them. We had to release additional claims detail, and we were unable to get a quote. The same is true, United Healthcare, they immediately declined to quote because they couldn't get more competitive than Community Care. That's the reason United did not quote. I will mention with the Allstate plan, it is level funded, and they asked us to make sure that we market to them next year. So we will do that because I think if we have a consistent story with what we believe will happen, we may have some additional options next year. Page 7 is going to be our recommendation. This will take our community care plan. We're going to keep the exact same plan details, same deductible, same office visit copays. The only change we're going to see is right now you guys offer 2 networks. We have a select network and a standard network. We're going to combine those with Community Care's newest network called the One Network. Here in the Tulsa area, it's going to consist of the select and standard providers. So you actually get a blended rate at a lower cost, and you're going to have more contracted providers. The difference is Oklahoma City. So Oklahoma City, we're going to have Integris and Mercy, where currently if someone's on the select plan, they have St. Anthony and Norman Regional. I would arguably say that this will actually enhance the Oklahoma City options for specialty. Most of your people aren't going to Oklahoma City for primary care. They're only going there for a second opinion or specialty if it's needed. Does anyone have questions on the network or what the Community Care One would do? You'll notice that that is where our 5% negotiation came. So we were able to get a few points off by combining and putting us with a better network, essentially is what's going to happen if we choose to do so. The secondary that's illustrated here is the exact same benefit you guys have today. The paper you're currently on is called Prosperity. That's who's paying your claims. This would actually be moving to a company called Med Mutual, exact same contract, 0 deductible, still estimated a $500 out-of-pocket maximum, but all employees would be required to have a new ID card. And then we would have the ability to see claims online, including our office. If we have an employee call, we have to reach out to Prosperity and say, hey, will you send us the explanation of benefits and assist that way getting in talks with a provider. This new company would allow us to be able to pull those explanation of benefits and say, hey, you know, Mr. Jones, we see that you have gone to the doctor, but Prosperity never received this claim. Let me call the doctor and have them submit it. Just give us a little more insight as well as the employees too. Any questions, concerns, thoughts? With the agenda, do we want to take action on medical and then move on to each ancillary line?
Could we just go ahead and go through it
Can we
all?
go through all?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
I think that would be.
Okay. I don't want to get the horse before the buggy. On telemedicine, as I mentioned, Revive, we've already talked about it. Our $5.50 rate will hold for the upcoming year. Nothing is going to change with that. It still does include the prescriptions and the mental health feature. Page 9 is going to show the ancillary coverages that have been quoted. So you'll see some of those illustrations here. Page 10 shows our Delta Dental, which is kind of our next piece that we'd like to talk through. Delta Dental, with the PPO Plus Premier, we're having a 6% increase. Delta's PPO Plus Premier is the largest network in Oklahoma. They haven't given us an increase in years, so it's bound to catch up whenever it's an enhanced product. It pays very well. With this plan, there's nothing changing. There's a $0 deductible. It's a very consistent plan. 93% of dentists in Oklahoma participate in this network. So there's very few people that would ever find a dentist that does not take or accept Delta Dental Premier. We do have an option from Delta Dental called the Delta Dental PPO. It includes around 65% of dentists. So you have, there's a chance that someone would be seeing a provider that would no longer be contracted. If we decided to do the network, the slimmer network, we could save 4%. Okay, so we wouldn't have an increase at all if we decide to go with the slimmer network. What does that mean for someone that goes to a provider that's out of network? It allows for the employee to be balance billed. So I don't know if you guys want me to go through a scenario of balance billed, or have you heard of that before? So if someone went to a PPO provider, or a PPO plus Premier provider, but only paid for PPO, if the dentist charged $50 and the contracted rate was $25, that employee would pay the extra $25. So there could be additional expense for the employee. I'm not going to spend much time, but you're going to see that Principal and Standard both released quotes. You'll notice that they're 24 and 56% higher than Delta. That is just, reason to show we are where we should be. Delta Dental is the carrier that you guys are, partnering well with. If you look at page 11, I wanted to give you guys some stats on, okay, what would happen if we decide to go with the slimmer network? These are your numbers. This is based on the city of Wagoner employees. That right-hand side, if you look, it says network utilization. You see PPO, PPO plus Premier, and out of network. You have 79% of your people using the slimmer network, but 20% of people are using doctors that would no longer be in network. So it's 20% doesn't sound like a lot until you start talking to employees. 20% is quite a few. Any questions on
Just a quick
networks?
question, on the ortho services or whatnot, so it says a lifetime service, is that like 2,000, is that max, once you reach that limit, then that's it, correct?
That's correct. Lifetime, yeah, it does not reset every year like the other. So the annual plan maximum of 2,000 resets every single year, but the lifetime ortho, it's a one and done per child. So each child would have their own bucket of money. Good question. I did want to mention PPO providers. It looked like both dental locations here in Wagoner were part of both networks. But based on the data, you can see that not everyone's using the local providers.
So, a quick question, the urgent care by Walmart.
They're no longer here.
Right here.
You're talking about MedWise?
Yeah.
Yeah, they shut down.
Did they?
They're gone.
Well, okay, never mind.
They're still
I didn't realize they shut
They
down.
didn't take our insurance.
I know,
There's
that's what I was gonna say. Why-
still
why
not
did
part.
they, but
They were.
Yeah.
I didn't realize they shut down.
It was
Talked with them
That's
several
looking right,
times,
huh?
and
Whenever I come into Wagner.
yeah, there's only Aspire now.
Fire ticket, and they're
Right,
good.
right.
Yeah, they are very good.
Right.
Aren't they like St. Francis, and that's their network?
I didn't
network,
realize they closed
and
down.
that's all they.
Yeah.
They're independent.
They're independent.
Aspire's independent, but whenever they came in, we worked on helping them get contracted. So, because we were like, hey, if you need to have you have to have community care. It's needed in this area. So Aspire is part of the network. Good questions. Page 12 is our vision overview. You guys have been with VSP for a number of years. We actually went to market. We asked for everyone to utilize the same network. Unlike Community Care Blue Cross, VSP actually rents their network out to other carriers. And you're going to see that we have a quote from Principal as well as Standard, both giving us a major reduction in cost and still using our same network. One other piece I wanted to mention is the copay. You'll see for materials, we've actually had it reduced to a $25 copay instead of $30. It seems like a very good option. With these options, we have packaged rates. So realize that we can't just take the vision if we decide to go with one of these carriers. We're looking at their life insurance too. So we don't want to say, oh, we want to go ahead and move this to Principal for the vision, and we want to keep our Sun Life with life. We can't do that. We have to keep the packages together. Questions on vision? All right, employer paid life insurance. As I mentioned before, Sun Life we did have an increase with, and it was due to the demographic, so ages of employees getting, higher. They did give us a rate guarantee through 2027 if we decided to stay with them. We were looking at just under an 11% increase on our life insurance whenever we blend that together. We have options from Mutual of Omaha, Principal, and Standard, with savings to the employer on all three. Based on the full package, you're going to see our recommendation is with Standard here as well. No changes to the structure, with one exception. There are age reductions on your current plan. Those age reductions hit at age 70 and 75. They reduce by 35% and 55% of the face value. With all the carriers that quoted, it's a more standard contract. It reduces at 65 instead of 70, but it only reduces that one time of 35%. So they'd never have less than a half of a benefit, right? Where if we stay where we are, once someone hits the age 75, they've lost 55% of their life insurance. So overall, it's a fair trade because we're only going to have one age reduction instead of the two that we've had before. Probably the most attractive piece is going to be the employee paid life insurance on page 14. We're currently with Sun Life. When you move to a carrier, they accept all new enrollees, right? Some of the people that, maybe didn't take it when they were first new hires, they'd have to answer health questions if we keep renewing, but moving to a new carrier gives what they call an open enrollment up to a guarantee issue. So we worked really hard to try to get you guys in line with some additional life insurance options. As people get older, they think, oh, well, I actually need life insurance, and now I can't get it because we're staying with this company. I don't want to go through. Lori, she'll give horror stories on the evidence of insurabilities that are online with Sun Life. You fill it out and you wait for 14 days, and then lo and behold, you get a letter in the mail saying, "Hey, you didn't complete one. We need to know how tall you are. We need to know what color your hair is." I joke, but they're involved, right? If we stick with Sun Life, our rates are going to stay exactly the same. But if we move to, Mutual of Omaha, Principal, or our recommendation of Standard, we're going to have a guaranteed open enrollment, meaning every employee can elect up to $150,000 with none of those forms needed. That would be a really good opportunity for many employees. You'll notice that the costs are actually a little bit lower with Standard whenever we're looking at the per dollar amounts when we combine those with AD&D. So we're going from a 0.145 if you look at the current employee rate, and if you move over to Standard, we're going to a 0.09.
Is there a contestability, 2-year contestability on, I know they're going to allow them to do 150,000, but that's a.
Yeah, they're allowing it. So the only new contract which we would have grandfathering in, there's a suicide clause on new apps.
That's the only
So
thing, okay.
that's the only thing that could come back and get you.
So, excuse me, so for every 10,000, or every 1,000 or 10,000, how much, like if they get 10,000 and they want to increase 50,000, how much would they have to pay?
It actually bases off of the age, so
What if they like
it's
62?
so it's 82 cents per thousand, $8.20 for 10,000. Is that fair enough?
Yeah.
You put me on the spot with quick math, so that did not include the AD&D rate of 20 cents. So add $2 if you want AD&D.
So they're automatically at 20, and this is obviously a term, right? Yes, sir. And they all are guaranteed $20,000 of term life insurance, and then you can add up to 150.
No. So you're guaranteed 20,000 to be an employee. Okay?
Right.
You're guaranteed up to 150,000 guaranteed for open enrollment with no health questions. Yes. It's huge. That's why,
Right.
Changing life insurance it's an involved piece. We have to work with HR to make sure everyone is actively at work. If someone's not actively at work and they elect 150,000, they're not covered until they come back to work. Right? So this starts April 1st. They would not have the additional coverage until they return to work, right? But everyone else, if their return to work date is there, we had an HR person that actually added her spouse and lost her spouse in the first 30 days, and it was fine and dandy. And I know that's so sad, but those types of situations happen. This is a big opportunity, especially whenever, your staff changes. They need these pieces. So.
Councilman Sampson, I believe what you're asking, the employee automatically gets the 20,000 that the city covers. That is a guarantee. Every single employee that works for the city of Wagoner is covered at 20,000, with the exception of what Amber was mentioning, the age. What she's referring to is the voluntary portion that employees have the option to opt in to. And that's the guarantee of $150,000. And that is huge for several of our employees with, chronic conditions like myself, high blood pressure, whatever it may be. You as an insurance person know the questions that come along with all that, and they can decide not to cover you because of those answers. With this guarantee issue, they can just sign up. They don't have to answer any of those. So if they want it, now they have the option. They don't have to participate in it at all. That's 100% up to them. And as Amber mentioned, it does increase with your age. It is a term life policy. Does that answer your question? I think so.
I found a typo on my spreadsheet. On Standard Life, it shows 100,000. I was negotiating late Friday afternoon with the underwriter. We were approved for 150,000 with Standard. So if I had people thinking, what is she looking at? It's 150,000 with Standard. Their rates looked best. That's why we went ahead and tried to push negotiations through there. One other piece that I failed to mention is they automatically add a line of duty benefit. So the accidental death and dismemberment can double up to $50,000 if someone's, killed in the line of duty. So that's another thing we really like about partnering with them. Questions on life insurance? Okay. Guaranteed 2 increments. I don't know if anybody was reading that language, but if you elect some life insurance, let's say somebody's young and they say, I'm just going to do 10,000 just because I don't want to answer health questions later on. Standard will allow them to, increase that by $20,000 each year up to the guarantee issue with no additional questions, but they have to have something to start or questions are needed. So they at least have to have $10,000 on the book at open enrollment. All right, page 15 is kind of a summary of all the benefits that we've looked at. Numbers are, hard to see if we talk about percentages, but if we decided to go with a recommended community care new network in our secondary, we're looking at around a $30,000 increase annually. Our dental increase, if we take the same network, we're looking at around $3,160 annually. If we decide to change, we could save up to $2,400. Vision, if we go to Standard, we're going to save around $10,000. This does include family tiers, so some of these are employee dollars that would be saved. The employer life insurance, you'll see, has about a $2,800 incentive to switching to Standard. If you take the recommended plans, these that we've already talked about, the estimated increase, kind of debits and credits, we're looking at around $14,900 in additional spend with everything combined. So not a whole lot compared to looking at medical expense, right? Whenever we look at the overall the big picture. I have one additional screen to share. It's on page 16. This is a short-term disability that can be added alongside our life insurance. We're looking at Mutual of Omaha as well as Standard. A short-term disability policy is paycheck insurance. We're presenting this to you because we actually work with a lot of municipalities. Over the last year, we've had a number of municipalities come to us and say, we need something for employees whenever they aren't able to work. Short-term disability, this policy that we're showing you, it kicks in after 7 days. It is not 7 working days, it's 7 calendar days. So if someone misses 5 days of work plus a weekend, they would be eligible for a payment from the insurance company of up to 60% of their paycheck. Paycheck insurance is something that I really speak highly of. Whenever I talk at enrollment meetings, I say medical insurance is going to pay the doctor, but what's going to pay the mortgage payment? What's going to pay those, car payments to get to work? What's going to pay for gas? These are the type of things that we really feel mean a lot to employees, go a long way with employees, and really kind of give some a cushion to HR too, as those situations come up where they go, hey, I'm not going to be able to return to work. I'm having a knee surgery. I'm having a baby. Those type of situations. What happens with my paycheck if I run out of PTO? This is definitely something that we'd like for you guys to consider.
And I don't know if any of you have ever been on short-term disability. I have through my previous employer. It's very nice to have. Yeah. It's very nice. And I would strongly hope that the council would recommend moving forward with this short-term disability, just to give more cushion to our employees. I feel like we do an amazing job of taking care of one another right now, when somebody runs out of vacation time or sick time, that we have to, other employees donate to each other to take care of that person. Well, now, we don't have to so much worry about those employees having to give up their own time for that. Go ahead.
I've probably bored you guys with all the details. I'll open it up for any questions, or if we'd like to have any further detailed conversations. Those last few pages are just kind of key statistics about our office and the services that we offer.
Any discussion?
On that, short-term disability, the maximum days is, 90?
That's correct.
Yes.
So
Now, but we did talk about that earlier. If somebody needed like a C-section or something, I believe there's certain potentials that it could go longer.
So it's going to restart for any claim, right? So it's not like a 90-day maximum lifetime benefit. It's 90 days per condition. So if someone returns to work and then goes out again, but 90 days is generally about 12 weeks, right? So you're going to see some language that says 12 weeks, some that says 90 days. It's not going to extend past that for one particular.
So it's not 90 days per diagnosis, so if it's the same thing but reoccurred, then they can.
Reoccurring requires you to come back to work, but it could pay again. There's certain stipulations on how long you have to be back. But if you return to work for a week and then something completely irrelevant happens, it would pay out again, right? You'd still have you're restarting your 7-day elimination period, but these policies they're good policies. I know that your employees have had the opportunity to purchase some of these through Colonial, through Aflac in the past. They're very expensive to purchase on an individual basis. They have different criteria, such as your age, such as your salary, and those policies can be kind of hard to, understand or know what's going on, and they're very expensive. Where the employer rates, you have one additional rate. I think it's under $20,000 for the year for all employees to be covered. And we put in all full-time employees whenever we were doing these calculations, so.
This doesn't have an age restriction?
It does not have an age restriction. That's correct. Long-term disability is where we see those age restrictions come up most of the time. So no age restriction. Standardly, like we had the example of pregnancy, most of the time in natural pregnancy, that employee would have 5 paid weeks and one our elimination period of 7 days. I lost my train of thought. I was going to call it a waiting period. However you want to word that. So the first week would be on them, and then the next 5 weeks would be paid by the plan. The employee cannot make more than 100% of their current salary, so they could use PTO and things like that concurrently if you guys decide to allow that. If you decide that they just want to use their short-term disability, you can do that too. It's going to be completely up to how you guys want to administer the policy.
Further discussion? Entertain a motion?
So made.
Okay.
Now,
Well, wait.
now, you want to do the recommended one, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So let me,
I think we'll have to do them one at a time, but yes,
One at a time.
yes.
Okay.
But I would,
we can't
You're ma-
lump them up.
no, because the way the agenda's written, but we need to word it as,
can I make,
make the motion of the recommended.
I make the motion.
Hold on.
What page is it on?
Wait.
so I'll make it easy on medical. The recommended page is page 7. The recommended medical is to elect the new community care network alongside the new secondary payer. So page 7 is the recommended medical plan.
So you make that motion.
And that did go up $10, isn't it?
Yeah, there is an
I
increase.
mean, like the, especially, because I know that it was 40, now it's 50, right?
No, ma'am, that's no change.
There's no change there.
What? I only paid 40.
You're getting a deal, don't tell everyone.
So I told you, that's what you've been charging, I don't know.
Yeah, no change.
Have a motion?
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Wright,
Yes,
Wagoner,
Yes.
Abernathy,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
North,
Yes.
Higginbottom,
Yes.
Sampson.
Yes.
Item number 7, consider purchasing employee telehealth insurance or take other action.
Our recommendation is on page 8 to renew our current Revive Health.
I'll make a motion to recommend Revive Health as a telemedicine
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Wright,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
Abernathy,
Yes.
Higginbottom,
Yes.
North,
Yes.
Wagoner,
Yes.
Sampson.
Yes.
Item
Okay.
number 8, consider purchasing employee life insurance or take other action.
Oh, we're going to skip a couple pages for life insurance, sorry. Life insurance is considered on page 13. We would recommend moving to the standard to keep the same contracts with a $20,000 policy with employer savings.
That's through.
Now, that also includes the sun, correct?
We would be we would replace Sun Life with standard by making this,
Okay.
And then it would allow us to do the open enrollments for voluntary life insurance with additional amounts. And that's located on page 14. So we recommend the package with standard for life insurance.
I make a motion to accept the recommendation.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Butler, Abernathy,
Yes.
Sampson,
Yes.
Wagoner,
Yes.
North,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Higginbottom.
Yes.
Item number 9, consider purchasing employee vision insurance or take other action.
Our recommendation would be on page 12, moving to the standard with our same network and enhanced copays.
I'll make a motion to approve the recommended for BSP, standard balanced care vision.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Higginbottom,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
Sampson,
Yes.
Abernathy,
Yes.
Wagoner,
Yes.
North. Sorry.
You're fine.
Item number 11, consider purchasing employee gap insurance or take other action. Did I miss one?
Did we- Yeah. we
Oh,
skipped-
sorry.
No, I thought I messed up. You scared me.
Nope, that was me. Okay. Consider purchasing employee dental insurance or take other action. Right?
So with this one, you have the two options where you can take a decrease of the 4% or you can take the increase of, what was the number? I'm sorry, 6%. This is entirely up to the council. I'll leave it to you guys. But you do have 22 to 23 employees going to have to change their dentist if we do switch to the cheaper version. It's entirely up to you guys. I'll follow your lead.
So you said 22? Okay.
Yes, there'll be 22 to 23 employees who will have to switch their dentist if we go with
I'd
the
strongly
lesser.
ask the council not to go with the cheaper.
Yep, I strongly suggest that one too.
You want to make that motion?
I'll make that motion to go with the higher rate.
Yes, ma'am, the 6% increase with Delta Dental.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Wright,
Yes.
Wagoner,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
Abernathy,
Yes.
Sampson,
Yes.
Higginbottom,
Yes.
North.
Yes.
I think I got everybody.
11. Oh, yeah, you called everyone.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
Item number 11, consider purchasing employee gap insurance or take other action.
We're going to recommend what's on page 7 as well. It goes along with the medical plan that we've already approved, so.
Now, where will we bring in the short term?
We can throw that in on this one because it is still the same, isn't it? No, it's different, sorry, standard was on the last one.
Probably life insurance would have been
Can
where you
we-
could have added.
no?
The short term.
Well, I mean, is there one you're gonna plan to add it?
Yes.
Where is it? I mean, I don't know.
It was the life insurance.
Life could have been added with or without.
So
short-term.
on number 8, we can amend that motion.
So let's finish 11 and go back to
Okay.
8. I'm sorry.
That's reasonable. I'm sorry. I should
No,
have
that's
caught that.
okay.
So on agenda item number 11, our secondary recommendation is to move to the carrier with electronic. It's illustrated on page 7.
Entertain a motion.
So made.
Have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Abernathy,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
North,
Yes.
Sampson,
Yes.
Higginbottom,
Yes.
Wagoner,
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Can we consider that next month on the short term? Does it have to be done tonight?
As long as you guys are okay with when open enrollment will be.
I'd have to look at the calendar. The main reason that we go,
Let's just go ahead and redo it. Let's just redo it on the 8th.
We just want to make sure employees know what is going on at open enrollment meetings is really the consideration of timing.
Let's just go ahead and redo it.
Okay, so our motion was made by Councilman Wagoner and seconded by Councilman Butler to move to standard for the life insurance.
So the standard can be offered with or without the short-term disability that was proposed. If you guys would like to offer life insurance with short-term disability, that is absolutely reasonable. Or it can be, proceeded without. But those are both on the table with standard life insurance with or without short-term disability.
So with the short-term disability, we're looking at an increase of about another 20,000?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I don't.
So would Anthony and Jimmy second it?
Did you make the motion?
Yes, sir, I
You
did.
want to move to reconsider?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay, did I hear a second
Second.
Please call the roll.
on the motion to reconsider?
Butler,
Yes.
Abernathy,
Yes.
Wagoner,
Yes.
Sampson,
Yes.
Higginbottom,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
North.
Yes.
Then we don't need to look at now, so now we will reconsider. So,
I'll make a motion to approve the recommended life insurance as well as add the short-term disability
Yes.
option.
Second.
have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Sorry. I'm running out of places to
Yeah,
write.
You're fine.
Sampson,
Yes.
Higginbottom,
Yes.
Wagoner,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
Abernathy,
Yes.
North,
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Thank you very much, council. We appreciate your time
Thank
and
you all.
efforts for our benefits for our employees. It is much appreciated.
Thank you.
Council, I'd like to go ahead and move to item number 24 on the agenda. Ryan Nowlin, our attorney, is here for that. Does anybody have an objection to that? I would also like to have a motion to go into executive session on that.
Okay, hang on,
Oh.
hang on, let me get there.
You're fine. I got you down though, Shane.
Okay, item number 24. Council will discuss and consider retiring into executive session for the purpose of confidential communications between the mayor, the city council, the city attorney, outside counsel, and any other pertinent staff members concerning a pending investigation, claim, or action in which the council determines by voting to enter into executive session that disclosure would seriously impair the ability of the council to process the claim or conduct a pending investigation, litigation, or proceeding. Specifically, the pending lawsuit, Wagoner County Rural Water District Number 6 versus the City of Wagoner and the Wagoner Public Works Authority and the United States Court for the Eastern District of Oklahoma in accordance with 25 OS Section 307B4, or take other action.
I have a motion to go into executive session.
Second.
And a second, please call the roll.
Higginbottom,
Yes.
Wagoner,
Yes.
Abernathy,
Yes.
Butler, North,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Sampson.
Yes.
We will go into executive session at 7:32.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go give me another one.
but we varied from the agenda to go to 24. Okay. The motion is 25, so we'll have to vary one more time.
Got it. Okay. Excuse me.
Dance. Dance.
Yes.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, it's been a humdinger tonight. Yeah.
Right, Pete? Right, Pete? I stepped in. Tennessee Walker. Yeah. All right. Is that what? No, it's thinned out, didn't it? It is. So it's like,
I forgot, we need a motion to come out of the Five streams back.
So I didn't think you would.
Everyone ready?
I didn't say hi. I was like,
We will come out of executive session at 8:12. Council, if you don't mind, with no objection, I'd like to move to item number 25 on the agenda.
Item number 25, consider approval of resolution number 772, a resolution designating a representative of the city of Wagoner, Oklahoma, to attend settlement conferences and pending litigation in the United States District Court for the Eastern District of Oklahoma and granting settlement authority to said representative.
so moved.
Second.
No, we need you to say who you want to go.
Who's gonna designate? Who you gonna
Named
designate?
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, just, here you go. Make a motion that Dalton, Ken Hicks, and Jessica.
Not me. I'm not a representative.
Just me.
Jessica and I are not representatives.
All right,
Just the mayor.
all right. Okay. The mayor and go.
Okay,
They work?
that'll work.
Okay.
Have a motion in a second. Please call the roll.
I hear you.
Abernathy,
Yes.
Higginbottom,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
Sampson,
yes.
Wagoner,
Yes.
North,
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Brian, thank you.
Sir.
I believe it's 12.
Yeah, I just have to find my page. Item number 12, consider ending the probation period on the following employees or take other action. In the cemetery, Patrick McGowan, the police department, Gabriel Bonner, and the police department, Richard Sourjohn.
Hello. I'd like to make a recommendation to remove Patrick McGowan from off the probation to no rate increase, $14 an hour at today's date.
So made to remove the probation for Patrick McGowan at $14 an hour as of no action, right?
Today, yes.
Yeah, today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Sampson,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
Abernathy,
Yes.
Higginbottom,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Wagoner,
Yes.
North.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm back. Okay. We'd like to recommend removing Officer Gabriel Bonner from probation. He has done an excellent job being our SRO. We've had nothing but great feedback from him. It would be no change in rate effective today, and his rate is $19.77 an hour.
Gabriel's one that came and got the employees and the kids.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am. Yes,
Well, he made his money because he pulled 6 people over in one day through that school zone.
Yes,
In
he
less than
does.
30 minutes.
yes, he
I
takes
drove
that
by
very
there, I'm like,
seriously.
and I wasn't even paying attention. I'm like, oh, shoot. I come back by again, he done pulled somebody else over. I'm like, yeah, he done made his money.
Yes, ma'am.
I know, right? I make that motion for, well, he already so moved it, I second it.
Have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Wagoner,
Yes.
North,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
Abernathy,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes,
Higginbottom,
Yes.
Sampson,
Yes.
And we'd also like to recommend removing Officer Richard Sourjohn from probation. He just obtained his CLEAT certification, and he's officially certified full-time. We'd like to remove him at this no change in rate at $19.29 an hour effective today as well.
So many.
second,
Have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Abernathy,
Yes.
North,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
Higginbottom,
Yes.
Wright,
yes,
Wagoner,
Yes.
Sampson.
Excuse me. Yes.
Item number 13, consider promoting Gary Rucker to Parks and Recreation Supervisor and pay adjustments for Parks and Recreation's employees Todd Gordon, Josh Jones, and Albert Dorr, or take other action.
So, council, with discussion between me and Mr. Peters, he is going to continue to be the special project coordinator. We had looked into it, and I would strongly like to promote Gary Rucker to the Parks Manager position with a change of pay of $3.43 to bring him to $18 an hour, effective January 24th of 2025.
What was that again? 18?
18. Any discussion?
Do we need to do them all in one, because they're all in one?
I don't know. I mean, we didn't do the other ones all in one.
this is one sentence.
Oh, enough places.
That's okay, it's all right, we'll do it.
So does Kenneth Peters' pays, does it still come out of the park?
No, no, it does not.
Okay.
As far as I know, it does until we change it.
Correct.
Moving it somewhere else.
So
Well, hold on. Go ahead.
what was the new title for Mr. Peters?
The special project coordinator.
Is that something that's already on the?
Something we voted on or something that he already had or was?
It's been that way for.
So that's where his title
right
been.
before us, yes.
But he will no longer be the Parks and Rec Supervisor. We would promote Gary to be the Parks and Rec Supervisor, so he would no longer have those duties of the park.
I'm sorry, Shane, if I just told you wrong. That is a line item in the park budget.
Yes, I would recommend at budget time we put him in a different department that's
Yes.
more suited, but since it's budgeted that way, I would recommend continuing until that time.
Okay.
So, go ahead.
And then the pay for Mr. Rucker. So was that, I know time and grade and all that stuff like that is, I'm talking military stuff, but anyway. So is that based off of like time? You know, is 18 the same as what what he was getting paid before?
No, that's a $3.43 increase from what he's been making previously.
I guess what I'm stating is the Parks and Recreation Supervisor, isn't there like a base?
I'll be
What's the bracket for that?
So I'll be completely honest with you. We looked at giving Gary a quite larger raise, and me and him sat down and talked, And he felt like with Albert's knowledge, he needed some, Todd needed some, and Josh. So that's why we're looking at changing rate of pay for every employee in
Yes.
this department.
Basically, we divvied up portions of
the
the
pay of
increase,
supervisor
yes.
pay to pay
by the
everyone else.
request of Gary Rucker.
Yes.
Wow.
Well, that's a good
What a man,
incentive,
huh?
because I never, I'd do the same thing, but that's, I mean, commended.
I'm gonna
I've
say
done the
anything
same
else.
thing.
Yeah, so we're gonna do them all four together, so I'll go over the rest. So I'll start over. Gary Rucker with an increased pay of $3.43, which will bring him to $18 an hour. Todd Gordon with an increased pay of $1.13, which will take him to 15. Josh Jones, increased pay of 57 cents, which will take him to $13.22. Albert Dorr with an increased pay of $1.45, which will take him to $14.10. All four of those would be effective January 24th, 2025.
1410.
And that park budget can handle the increases?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes,
It is the budgeted amounts.
yes,
It doesn't
It-
change
He
the
could pay them
payroll.
to give them.
Correct.
yes.
Yes, sir.
So on the 57 cents, I mean, not be a dollar, I mean, and that, everybody else is a dollar.
So me and Gary talked and went over this quite in detail because we only had a certain amount dollar to work with.
Okay.
And this is what he felt comfortable with and I felt comfortable with.
With the, and that's fine, what is the special projects, like, what is that rate?
Like the rate of that is 25.
So some of I'll just kind of address your question. And it's kind of, the way it's set up is each employee that received money, they've been here longer. The higher it is, they've been here longer. You know, the lower it is, they've been here the least amount of time. So it kind of worked out that way in a good way, you know. But that is why it's 57 cents, is because they had a select amount to work with. And that's just, you know, when you're here a little bit longer, you earn more.
And one reason Albert's was quite a bit larger was Gary will tell you that man's knowledge.
He knows the water lines.
Yes, he does.
He knows them like the back of his
And-
hand.
And so they still, Albert did not want to work weekends anymore, and I don't blame him. Who wants to be on call if they don't have to? So he went to the park department. But he still is called to help the water department quite often, and the park department can handle that most of the time. But he also took a pay cut when he went to the park department, and so I agree. I feel like it's great on Gary Rucker.
No, that's commendable on that. I'm just looking at the, so the $25 an hour for special projects manager or whatever, just special projects person, that's being allocated out of the Parks and Recreation is another.
Yes, sir.
So what we're gonna do is in budget, that'll come out of a different.
So until then, what?
It sticks to the park department. It is budgeted for all of these amounts, including the special projects at this time.
July 1, it would probably be moved over to general government or something
Yeah.
along that line. But since we did the budget process and he is budgeted out of the Parks Department, it makes sense to go ahead and finish out this year and then move them.
I agree with that. We're too close.
Well, no, I get that. I was just trying to figure out like where's that funding coming? Like what's been taken away to pay for?
Kenneth took a pay cut.
Yes.
Okay, that's why so it's all there, but it's being cut from him to give him, okay.
Yes.
I just want to make sure we're not adding another position and using some other money allocated for
No.
something else and then.
No, this position is not just being magically made. It's been there for years, my understanding, long before probably the three of us. just gonna change roles, and then when the budget comes, I think general gov would be a perfect spot for it. Any other discussion? Entertain a motion?
So made.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Higginbottom,
Yes.
Abernathy,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
Sampson,
Yes.
Wagoner,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
North.
Yes.
Item number 14, consider changing the employee status of Tony Pons from an hourly employee to a salaried employee with wage adjustment or take other action. The council may adjourn to an executive session for the purpose of discussing the above item pursuant to Title 25 OS, Section 307B1.
Go ahead.
Okay. So what we're looking to do is move Tony from a hourly employee to a salary employee. Within over the years, you know, our deputy chief has received some significant increases, and it's been fine, but he works a lot. He is a very hardworking man, and it kind of eats at our overtime budget. So it just makes sense to switch him over to salary, and that way he can kind of stick more to the 40 hours a week and that kind of thing, like deputy chief for our fire. It just kind of moves everything on trend and to be about the same. So, yes, it will be included in the salary that I'm going to request. So his technical at 40 hours a week would be considered 77,188 per year, but what we're requesting is 81,347 per year, which would include his holiday pay.
Discussion? Entertain a motion?
So made.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Wagoner,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
North,
Yes.
Higginbottom,
Yes.
Sampson,
Yes.
Abernathy.
Yes.
Thank you, council.
Thank you.
Item number 15, consider approval of pay application number 1 from Glover and Associates in the amount of $33,370.83 for WAG 24-09, 2024 street rehabilitation per recommendation from Infrastructure Solutions Group, LLC, Consulting Engineers, or take other action.
Any discussion?
Where's this at?
What road is it, Thomas?
This is just a start. They've got several streets to do, but they're mostly, only asphalt they've done is from 7th and Proctor to 10th and Proctor, but they're still working on base failures and stuff before.
Oh, go ahead, sorry. Go ahead.
They have to fix the base failures and stuff before they continue with asphalt.
Yeah, because I know I drove over there by that park, by the bus barn. Is that the one they're doing over that way?
Yeah.
And it's just like horrible.
Okay, they have an inspector, I haven't been over there,
Okay.
but they have an inspector on it, but 7th to 10th's the only asphalt that's been laid.
Okay.
Jonathan, I didn't like how that asphalt looked over on Proctor.
Okay, well,
It's not,
Rough. Not even. Something
something ain't right. It's just, I'm getting a lot of complaints on it too. I'm not the only one to say that.
all I can do is get with Dale and see if that could be a base and there's gonna be a 2-inch cap on top of it.
Okay.
I don't know that, but, that's why he has an inspector there and everything has to be right, so we have to prove it. But other than that asphalt there, they've done a lot of base failure repairs and raised manholes and stuff like that too.
Can you get with Dale this week?
You
on
bet,
that?
I will tomorrow.
Okay. Further discussion? Entertain a motion?
I'll make that motion to approve it.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Sampson,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
Abernathy,
Yes.
Higginbottom,
Yes.
Wagoner,
Yes.
North,
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Item number 16, consider approval of ordinance number 977, an ordinance amending Title 10, Chapter 8, use of tobacco on city-owned or operated property, providing for regulations relating to smoking, tobacco, and vapor use, providing definitions, requiring signage, providing for penalties and enforcement, providing for renumbering, declaring interpretation and findings, providing for severability, and declaring an emergency, or take other action.
So what brought this on?
T-set.
That's what I thought.
So this ordinance is out of date. It shows that our legal age of tobacco use is 18, which is out of compliance with state law. This is updating that ordinance to be 21 years of age. And we added in some language preferred by TSET, required for the grants, so that we can apply for future grants.
Discussion?
Is it gonna be enforced?
Yes. This is for any city property,
Yeah,
any,
'cause I can look on
any
my
gas
camera
stations, yeah,
at
any
home
gas
and see 'em walking
stations.
out smoking.
Any gas stations that's selling tobacco or vape products, they can't sell to anybody under 21, et cetera. State law is already in place. We just have to update our ordinance for these grants to be able to be applied and
So
granted
those
for
looking
us.
on our city properties. That's what this is, right?
That's what it says.
I just wanna make sure it happens. Don't matter to me if they smoking up, and I don't smoke, but if we're gonna put some enforced, we need to make sure it's enforced. Just not put on paper.
Entertain a motion.
So made.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Wagoner,
Yes.
Abernathy,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
Higginbottom,
Yes.
Sampson,
Yes.
North.
Yes.
Item number 17, to declare, consider declaring ordinance number 977 an emergency or take other action.
So made.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Butler,
Yes.
Sampson,
Yes.
Wagoner,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
North,
Yes.
Higginbottom,
Yes. Yes.
Abernathy.
Yes.
One more time.
Abernathy. Item number 18, consider approval of resolution number 770, a resolution appointing Beth Johnson, Director of Athletic Fields, and authorizing her or her designated representative to schedule the use of city athletic fields for baseball, softball, soccer, and other types of field activities in accordance with the plan posted on City of Widener website at https://widenerok.org/online tools-tools/download-forms-documents, or take other action.
You did very good on that.
So made.
Yeah, you did. It's on the road.
Okay, wait, who did?
Patrick.
Patrick.
Myself.
Have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Butler.
Yes.
Sampson.
Yes.
Abernathy.
Yes.
Higginbottom.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
North.
Yes.
Wagoner.
Yes.
Item number 19, consider approval of ordinance number 978, an ordinance amending Title II, Chapter 4 of the Code of Ordinances, Other Officers and Departments, creating the Office of City Administrator, combining the Office of Street Commissioner with the Office of City Administrator, providing for renumbering, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict therewith, and declaring an emergency or take other action.
So right now, we really don't have the city administrator job. There is the street commissioner, but that job needs to be one.
Excuse me. So, we wanna hire a city administrator, right?
That's, yes.
But by I don't know, is this by law, do we can do that? Because,
What do you mean?
well, by the state auditor, back then, we got a letter, you were the city administrator.
Well, this,
So is it,
I mean-
what you're saying is it taking your authority away?
no, not at all. Not at all. So you gotta think, there's always been as long as I can remember, we've had a city manager or somewhere along those lines, correct? I mean, we had Larry Morgan, Dwayne.
We had Larry, what was Larry?
Larry was city manager.
Yeah.
This is just giving it the title of city administrator. We think that sounds better. Me, Ken, and Lori have worked very hard on this. It's gonna be somebody that's gonna work right alongside the mayor and under the mayor and the council.
What about administrative assistant?
Do what now?
What about like administrative assistant?
No, I think the city administrator is just fine.
So there's an audit that says what?
No. The state auditor's office had reached out over some issues in the past, but that's has nothing pertaining to this. This is creating this position so we can start hiring out for it. Now, at one time, we did have an elected position that was a street commissioner, but it took a vote of the people to make that where that was not an elected position. Kind of like you remember a few years back when they had the special election to make the marshal, the city clerk, and the city treasurer not elected, but appointed. They've done this in the past with the street commissioner, that it is no longer an elected position for the city of Wagoner. So what we would be doing is combining those offices. I figure as the city administrator, he needs to be over every department. Or, well, that got us in trouble by saying he, when they. Flashbacks, Patrick. They need to be over every department besides HR, excluding, they work under the mayor and the council.
Is this not something that OML could advertise out?
I don't believe so.
Because I know I talked to Mike Fina back in October when I was in Telepol, and he told me they have a website that they can offer these kind of positions like.
I'll be honest with you, we need to get this rolling.
If I may, Counselor, we do utilize the OML website for postings of this statute. We actually utilized it for development services and a few others. It costs $10, but we go ahead and advertise it on there as well, especially with a position of this high up. We're going to utilize everything we've got.
That's just advertising for it.
Yes.
We will advertise on the city website, we'll advertise on Indeed. We want to advertise as many places.
We also do OMAA as well, and if there's any other options, I typically try to throw them out there as well. A lot of times, some advertising costs quite a bit of money, so I try to utilize the ones that are either free or very low cost, and majority of these are free, except with the exception of the OML being a $10 fee, which isn't bad, so we utilize that.
Further discussion? Entertain a motion?
Well, I still gotta,
What you got?
I think the one thing that we need or I haven't seen is
Contract.
Yeah, that.
There's gonna be a contract. We will strongly urge for a 3-year contract.
And then also an org chart.
We
We're
are
working
actually
on
in
that.
the process. We are almost done with it.
You were this close to having it on this one.
Yep, we will have it probably at the next council meeting.
I will be blown away if it's not on the next council meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Further discussion? Entertain a motion?
So made. Second.
Have a motion and second. Please call the roll.
Butler.
Yes.
Abernathy.
Yes.
Higginbottom.
Yes.
North.
No.
Wagoner,
Yes.
Sampson,
No.
Wright.
No. It's 4-3.
Yeah.
Okay, but that passes.
Yes.
Item number 20, consider declaring ordinance number 978 an emergency.
So made.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Butler,
Yes.
Abernathy,
Yes.
Higginbottom,
Yes.
Sampson,
No.
Wagoner,
Yes.
North,
No.
Wright.
No.
Item number 21, consider authorizing the Human Resources Director to advertise, receive applications, conduct interviews, and make recommendations to the council for qualified applicants to fill the role of City Administrator and Wagoner Public Works Authority Director, or take other action.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Butler,
Yes.
Sampson,
Yes.
Wagoner,
Yes.
Abernathy,
Yes.
Wright,
No.
Higginbottom,
Yes.
North.
No.
Item number 22, consider approval of resolution number 771, a resolution adopting amendments to the budget of the City of Wagoner, Oklahoma for the fiscal year ending 6/30/2025 to include supplemental appropriations available from revenues received from unanticipated resources and to reallocate budgeted reserve funds or take other action.
Discussion? Entertain a motion?
So moved. Second.
Have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Sampson,
Yes.
Wagoner,
Yes.
Abernathy,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
North,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Higginbottom.
Yes.
Item number 23, consider an agreement between the City of Wagoner Economic Development Authority, the City of Wagoner, and the Wagoner County Economic Development Authority for the development of a project known as the Junction, which shall be a public event space constructed at 111 South Main Street within the City of Wagoner, or take other action.
This is the contract between, on the city side for the junction.
This is just our part, right?
So we did the WIDA, now
Yeah,
we're doing the city part.
Okay, all right.
Yes. Any further discussion? Entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Sampson,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
Abernathy,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Wagoner,
Yes.
North,
Yes.
Higginbottom.
Yes.
Item number 26 is unscheduled public appearances.
There were none.
Item number 27 is departmental reports.
Jimmy?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm going to keep my remarks brief. I know it's been a long night, so you should have the hospital report in your packet. And just a few things to mention on there. Number one, on our net revenue this year, this is the first quarter of our new fiscal year. I made a comment there in the comment section. Our net revenue is tracking along about 12% higher than the same period last year. And that's directly a result of managed Medicaid in Oklahoma. So the supplemental payments that we're getting are very beneficial to the local hospital. So I just wanted you to be aware of that. Then we do have a new physician that's working in our emergency department. His name is Dr. Tex Gaskins, so just be aware of that. And then Dr. Belinga, our neurologist, has expanded his clinic to full-time now, and he's added a nurse practitioner, and her name is Mackenzie Ford. So we now have a full-time neurology clinic in Wagoner, which is a good thing. Yeah, there's a lot of need for that. And the last thing, just to mention, there's a lot of testing going on in the practices across the community in our emergency department with people with flu and flu-like symptoms. We've done a lot of testing in the last, few weeks. I think last week Oklahoma was like number 2 in the nation. So with that, unless anyone has any questions, that's my report for this evening.
Thanks, Gina. Thanks for
Appreciate
waiting.
it.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got that right.
Gary, you want to give your report?
Come on, Gary. You gotta start doing this and you do good.
Good morning, good evening. It's been a long day. So, my report is that we've been doing things around Maple Park, cleaning up, doing a lot of stuff to it. We changed a lot of flags and stuff, painted tables. So, continue to do a lot of things like that. Right now, we're working on the trees downtown. So, that's pretty much what we've been doing, getting our equipment ready for the summer, lawnmowers, and doing inspection on the equipment, playground equipment. So just a lot of different things need to be done, so.
Appreciate you, Gary.
Gary, I know that you're gonna give more than 100%, and I'm just happy to welcome you aboard as park supervisor. I see a lot of good things coming out of you and your department.
Thank you, Councilman.
Thank you. Continue doing what you're doing.
Thank you for giving up some pay for your other guy.
Exactly.
They deserve it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kelly?
I'm gonna let Jimmy give it.
Okay.
He gonna tell about our new truck. We planned on having it here, but they had some calls they had to go on, so they didn't make it. I'll let Jimmy tell you about it. Doesn't matter.
I thought somebody told me they saw somebody burning rubber in it coming down the highway. Was that you, L. James?
Wasn't me. We did get our new truck. We budgeted for it the last 2 years. We finally got it. We actually put it in service today. We're still waiting on some new rescue tools, a few other things to come in, but we pulled stuff off the other truck so we can get it to the shop, get some issues taken care of. So it is out here. If y'all want to look at it afterwards, you're welcome to. Everything's going good. So far, so good. We put in for a grant through forestry for some new SCBA's, and we were awarded that grant of $141,585.
So now you can get like 5 of them now, huh?
18.
Yeah.
I know, see, I know they're expensive.
So,
Yeah.
I did talk to the salesman today, and they did have a price increase as of January, which they do every year. But Drager has issued a deal, if you buy more than 15, you get your second cylinder free. So we're actually gonna come in under that number, so we may be able to add a couple more. But that would outfit every truck that we've got at this station and utilize the old ones on the standby truck.
And
It's going from a
SCBA.
30-minute bottle to a 45-minute bottle.
Yeah, and then how long does it, like not the warranty, but how long can you use it for, like 8 years, 5 years?
Every 5 years, they have to be inspected.
Inspected.
And they have a 15-year lifespan.
Life, that's right, yeah.
Good.
The bottles do.
The bottles, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
See you
Got
guys happy as
pretty-
5 is better than 18.
Yeah, we're happy right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, if you don't get to look at the truck tonight, come by the fire station, take a look at it. Truck's great. It's gonna be a great piece of equipment for us, so.
Thank God.
And, I just like to say thanks to our guys. They always put the flags out that goes around town
Right.
on all the posts, so. They do that. I can tell them thanks.
I'll come by tomorrow, look at it.
Come on.
It's tall. It's tall.
Oh,
In the daylight, we'll see it.
Craig's
Come back
having a
and
little
get
trouble
proceedings.
reaching the.
Can I, as long as I can push.
I knew that was coming.
You come on out, we'll let you push buttons.
Yeah.
Jim, you want to go next?
So-
Thank you, Jimmy.
thank you, guys.
Appreciate it.
Good evening.
Good evening, Jim.
What's going on with us? We finally got our ambulance back. It's been in the shop for 2 months, and it's back and working now. And we're still waiting on the title for that ambulance that was donated to us. They had a mix-up on that, waiting on that. And as Jimmy said, the flu's terrible. We had an ambulance sitting in Hillcrest today for 4 hours. It was a long line of patients on ambulance gurneys to unload. So we're having trouble now keeping enough ambulances running back and forth so we're not sitting at the hospital. And also, we're calling so much flu, we're having lots of staff with flu as well, especially our ones that have young kids. They're bringing it home, and we're really battling that. One of our employees, Damien, just passed his national registry on his 8 EMT, so we'll have another advance. And we have our 3 paramedic students. They're on the downhill slide. They're finishing up clinicals, and they'll be done about the end of June. So we're looking forward to having 3 new paramedics on board, homegrown. So that's going to be the best for us to have. So. Any questions?
Thanks, Jim. Appreciate you.
Thank y'all.
Thomas, you want to go next?
We kind of been all over the place last month. Less than 30 days we was pushing snow, the way it looks today. But we've been digging out some places where the water department has fixed leaks and try to fix them back. They're not all done. But we've got to start back on the stormwater project. We've been out of commission for a month trying to get the water line lowered, and finally got that done. This week we've been digging on it again. We put 112 foot in the last 3 days. We've got a problem with the boxes. I don't know if you've told anybody or.
No, and I figured right now it'd be a good, so if you've noticed over here, we've run into kind of a standstill. The company that we bought our concrete boxes from actually went bankrupt. And so now it's turned over to the bonding company, and so we're kind of at the mercy of the bonding company, waiting for them to hire another company to start these boxes. But the good thing about that is that they are bonded, so we're not just completely out of luck.
You got 2 big boxes left and 3 little boxes that go on the curb, so. But that's the most important intersection right there. I'd like to get Church back open before I shut down Casper, but that don't look like the way it's gonna happen. They both may be shut down. So, the company that's poured them has also poured some head walls for us down 4th Street and over by the railroad tracks. We've backfilled them. They all look good. We've started clearing a lot off at 4th and Monroe. It was all growed up. Cemetery, they've had 8 funerals this month. We've moved 3 stones at Bennett Addition. Busy filling in low graves and been mulching leaves that's blowed down, and we've been trying to keep storm drains open from all the leaves and stuff like that. That's about what we've been doing all month. You got any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Tom.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Janie?
I'm a little shorter than he is. So this month, we were able to file for a conference grant, and so 2 of our employees were awarded the grant and be going to Oklahoma Department of Libraries Conference, OLA, this next month. And so we were real happy to get to do that. We've been working with our computer people in getting ready for our E-rate. We are trying to see where we fall short, what we need to replace, what needs to be done for our Category 2. And so that's what we're working on. I'm waiting on them to get back with me so that I can start our E-rate process. This Saturday, Charles Sasser will be at the library. I hope you guys will stop by. He is a wonderful guy if you've never met him, but I'm sure you all have. And he's done a wonderful job on this new book that he's done, and he likes to visit about it. So I hope you'll come by. And then, of course, you know we're summer reading, getting ready. So do you have any questions for me?
Who's the 2 employees?
Nicole and Amanda Franks. I'm sorry, Nicole Pollard and Amanda Franks.
And where are they going?
They're going to go to Oklahoma City to the conference. It's, they flip-flop the same as the other conferences do, but this year they're I'm sorry, Norman. Norman, not Oklahoma City. Same thing if you ask me, yes. And so this will be the first time that either of them have got to attend.
That's good.
So Heather has been before and I've been before, so I wanted to give them a chance to go. Lots of good stuff on the agendas that we looked at.
It's gonna be good for them.
So,
Anyone else? Thank you, Janie.
thank you.
Jessica?
So our department has done 48 permits. 14 of those are new homes. Habitat for Humanity pulled all 10 permits. They have poured foundations and footings for 3 of those and plans to pour more later. We've done 57 inspections, 13 code enforcement cases, and an update on the museum. As our museum's being put back together, we're still taking inventory, making sure nothing's lost. And if it is, we're trying to find it. Everything's in the museum. We just got to find where we stuck everything where we could, in any drawer, and got it out of there. And I want to thank anybody and everybody that came and helped us with that. Greatly appreciated. A lot of our inventory is being put back. We're trying to move stuff around since we have it in various places, make new exhibits, new room for new exhibits. I'm hoping that we're open by the end of this month for everybody to come see what we've done for upgrades. We've also acquired new items for everybody from the Parkinson family, and a couple other new exhibits for Interactive Child. We are looking at expanding our interactive exhibits for children to be more interested in our museum. On our airport, we have collected 29 leases that are up to date, and we're waiting on 16 more that are still outstanding. I'm trying to reach out to those hangar owners and work with them on getting their stuff up to date.
So they can't pay, is it like $50 or something like that?
It's $225 per year. It's next to nothing for their lease. Wagoner Willows is starting on infrastructure for Phase 2. Phase 1 of their development is still working through the Corps of Engineers checklist to get their stuff going since they had the creek involved. As far as planning, we are working on 2 new zonings that we hope to present to you guys within the next couple months. So, any questions?
Thank you.
Good deal, thank you.
Appreciate it. TJ, are you doing the PDs?
No, sir.
Eric,
Huh?
Eric Jones.
No, he's on Public Works.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
We're not on Public Works?
No, we're still on
City.
city.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Get ready to go.
That's all on department reports.
Item number 28 is adjournment.
So many.
Make
Go,
a second,
take-
make a
take your
second,
pick.
make a second.
Butler.
Yes.
Wagoner.
Yes.
Higginbottom. North.
Yes.
Abernathy.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Sampson.
Yes.
Meeting adjourned at 9 PM. I'd like to call the Wagner Public Works Authority regular business meeting February 3rd at 9 PM.
Let me get there. Sorry.
Yeah, my head's hurt. I need to say it loud.
Yes, I've heard April one.
Shouldn't take long.
Item number 1, consider approval of minutes, January 6, 2025.
Any discussion? Entertain a motion.
So me.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Butler.
Yes.
Sampson.
Yes.
Abernathy. Higginbottom. Wright.
Yes.
North.
Yes.
Wagoner.
Yes.
Item number 2, consider approval or denial of claims for January 2025 to include WPWA to include numbers 114 through 132, which are manual warrants.
Any discussion? Entertain a motion.
Approval for the claims, WPWA 114 and 132. Manual warrants.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Wright,
Yes.
Wagoner,
Yes.
Higginbottom,
Yes.
Abernathy, Butler,
Yes.
North,
Yes.
Sampson.
Yes.
Item number 3 is the chairman's report.
There is one thing I'd like to bring up, and we were just kind of made aware of it. And I think with speaking with staff, we feel pretty confident that we're going to receive it, knock on wood, but we're looking at a $1.5 million grant to be used for water infrastructure. So be 100% free, right, Kenneth?
Yes.
Yeah. So, pretty excited about that. We should know by, April, hopefully. March 14th, yep. So, pretty excited about that. That's all I have. Thank you.
Item number 4, consider purchasing employee health insurance or take other action.
I make that motion to purchase the employees' health insurance
As recommended.
as.
For the Community Care One network.
Yeah,
the community
yeah,
care.
for one that they said.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Higginbottom,
Yes.
Abernathy,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
North,
Yes.
Wagoner,
Yes.
Wright, Sampson.
Yes.
Item number 5, consider purchasing employees' health, telehealth or take other action.
Make that to purchase employee telehealth by Revive, I think it was,
Yes, ma'am.
to approve it.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Sampson,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
Higginbottom,
Yes.
North,
Yes.
Abernathy,
Yes.
Wagoner, Wright.
Yes.
Item number 6, consider employee dental insurance or take other action.
Make dental insurance at the higher rate.
Yes, ma'am. Delta Dental.
Yeah.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Wright,
Yes.
Wagoner,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
North,
Yes.
Higginbottom,
Yes.
Abernathy,
Yes.
Sampson.
Yes.
Item number 7, consider purchasing employee vision insurance or take other action.
I'll make a recommendation to consider purchasing VSP.
No, it's the standard. Yes.
Sorry, standard. As
Yes, sir.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Yes.
Higginbottom,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Wagoner, Abernathy,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
North.
Yes.
Item number 8, consider purchasing employee life insurance or take other action.
I'll make a
I'll
motion.
make sure you,
I'll make a motion to purchase as stated,
Yes, sir. Standard.
standard.
Yes, sir.
Second.
have a motion and a second. Call the roll.
Butler,
Yes.
Higginbottom,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
North,
Yes.
Wagoner,
Yes.
Abernathy.
Yes.
Item, consider purchasing employee gap insurance or take other action.
I'll make a motion to purchase gap insurance as recommended.
Med Mutual. Med Mutual.
I thought you said Metamucil.
Sorry. My voice is going in and out.
Daily intake of fiber.
Have a motion. Need a second.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Call the roll.
Item number 10, consider authorizing the Human Resources Director to advertise, receive applications, conduct interviews, and make recommendations to the trustees for qualified applicants to fill the role of Widener Public Works Authority Director and City Administrator, or take other action.
So this will be for the Public Works Director. Any discussion? No, I will be, I don't know if y'all didn't think this or not, but I will be involved in these interviews and those things. Further discussion? Entertain a motion?
So moved. Second.
Have a motion, and a second. Please call the roll.
That was my second.
All right,
Mary
Kevin.
Higg.
Sorry. Butler?
Yes.
Sampson?
No.
Higginbottom?
Yes.
North?
No.
Wagoner?
Yes.
Abernathy?
Yes.
Wright?
No.
Item number 11, trustees will discuss and consider retiring into executive session for the purpose of confidential communications between the trustees, the authority's attorney, outside counsel, and any other pertinent staff members concerning a pending investigation, claim, or action in which the board determines by voting to enter executive session that disclosure would seriously impair the ability of the board to process the claim or conduct a pending investigation, litigation, or proceeding. Specifically, the pending lawsuit, Wagoner County Rural Water District Number 6 versus the City of Wagoner and the Wagoner Public Works Authority in the United States District Court for the Eastern District of Oklahoma in accordance with 25 OS Section 307B4, or take other action.
I'll make a motion to, have Mayor Dalton self.
No, that's on the next one.
That's on next
That's on 12. I think we need to take no action here, correct, Ken?
Right.
Is everybody fine with that?
Well, we already been in executive session.
You're reading 11. Yep. But thank you. Appreciate it.
Appreciate
Okay,
that.
well, I'm ready for that one. whenever.
Item number 12, consider approval of Resolution 25-02, a resolution designating a representative of the Widener Public Works Authority to attend settlement conferences in pending litigation in the United States Court for the Eastern District of Oklahoma, and granting settlement authority to said representative or take other action.
I'll make a motion to, approve, to have, Mayor Self. Mr. Ken, would you like to be in there? No. No, okay. And Jessica.
No, just me.
It's just Mayor
Make a
Dalton.
motion that Mayor Dalton will be the representation for us at that mitigation.
Have a motion, entertain a second.
Second.
Have a motion, second. Please call the roll.
Butler?
Yes.
Abernathy?
Yes.
Higginbottom?
Yes.
Wright?
Yes.
Wagoner?
Yes.
North?
Yes.
Sampson?
Yes.
Item number 13 is unscheduled public appearances.
There were none.
Item number 14 is departmental reports.
Eric, you ready?
Eric's on one.
No, Brad's here too.
Oh, okay.
Y'all ready to go home? So, yeah, we're doing pretty good. We've got power's going pretty good. We've got our LTCs complete in substation number 1. Number 2, we're running pretty good. Our power factor's running well. We're getting a lot of prep work in for some springtime projects we got going with some of the houses and community and stuff coming up, and just going through and looking at different projects right now. So other than that, the dailies are going well, and let's pray for good weather. So.
Can we get light on Southwest Second and Wagoner? There's no light there. When you're coming down like when that train, and everybody taking that bypass, coming down that road, where that house is sitting right there, there's not a pole light there. We talked about that before.
We've talked about that before?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Southwest Second.
Let's revisit it.
Don't
and
worry, I'll
we'll
take
look at it.
tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Brad, you ready?
It's been pretty good at the plant. January, the freezing temps and the snow, we had a lot of extra attention we had to put on the motors and aerators. Overall, though, after everything thawed out and whatnot, we were able to stay on top of everything and no damage and continue our operations. We're still getting caught up on the recent rains and the snow that's melted off. Cold weather's had a lot of settling issues on the clarifiers. We've been able to stay on top of it for the plant process and keep putting out quality water. Well, we have had a lot of trash come through the plant. We've been cleaning out return pumps pretty much weekly. And hopefully when we get the new headworks in place, that'll solve that issue. Give a shout out to Joe Duffy and his crew. They helped us out in getting the scum trough issues resolved. We had a lot of that big trash coming through and it clogged up our troughs. His crew came out and rotted the lines out for us and got rid of that trash. All the January water tests were great. Numbers are passing all state parameters, no issues. Plant's continuously putting out quality water into the river in an efficient manner.
I like that you gave the shout out. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Brad. Appreciate it. That's all we have.
Okay.
Item number 15 is adjournment.
So made.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Butler. Wagoner.
Yes.
Higginbottom.
Yes.
North.
Yes.
Abernathy.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Sampson.
Yes.
I don't think so. Let me double check. Meeting adjourned at 9:13. We don't have anything to sign. Not even on the.
One of those you passed out, you don't sign it?
What'd you say, Shane? I didn't hear you.
Well, I was asking, something we passed, do we all got to sign or just two or three y'all?
You talking about that Rebecca Olson thing?
Yeah, no, I think that's, you all passed it, but I think I can sign off with your pass.
Yeah, yeah, tell him now.
You must have it there.
He should be getting paid 25.
That's what I said, can I take off?
He's getting 18, he's getting 25.
So we're gonna,
I said I'll be there.
this was
I will
not being able to really change the budget. But in budget, that's gonna change. That's gonna go off of year one. Park.
Think Earl West is home.
Year one park supervisor, big man.
Don't do that.
Just what about tenure that he's been an employee for X amount of years?
Does it go off that?
Got it too.
Instead it goes off.
I don't know who it is, but I got it too.
I was gonna say, but the rate study's only recommendation.
No, I agree, and we wholeheartedly went off rate study night with all four of those guys.
Right. Yeah, I don't know,
I mean, because I'm
Same
assuming that
one,
rate
same
study's
tech,
not
I got
changed
it.
the other guys.
Well, yeah, I mean, but they definitely, I mean, that's, if we're taking from what I'm gathering,
That's what I thought.
his pay $6 away from him to give him.
Yes.
Give him 3, give him 57 cents at 113.